Good morning, church. It's good to be with you here today. And I want to talk in Acts chapter 11. And we want to talk a little bit about missions today and the nature of the church as being on mission. Chapter 11, verse 19 says, "Now those who had been scattered as a result of the persecution that started because of Stephen made their way as far as Phoenicia, Cyprus, and Antioch, speaking the word to no one except Jews. But there were some of them men from Cyprus and Cyrene who came to Antioch and began speaking to the Greeks also, proclaiming the good news about the Lord Jesus. The Lord's hand was with them, and a large number who believed turned to the Lord." And now if we remember way back in Acts 1, they were told that they would go to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And up to this point, they had not really accomplished that. They were still generally congregating there in Jerusalem and in that local area. It's kind of similar to the Tower of Babel, when God said, "Go out and multiply the earth." And the people instead said, "Actually, we're going to stick close. This seems like a good place to be right here." And they didn't want to go very far. And so God had to scatter them. And same here in Jerusalem. God had to scatter the people out, this time through persecution, to move them on. And we see here that they go out and they spread the word, and the word is received with joy just by Jew and Greek alike. They're being brought into that one faith, that one hope, that one baptism for our one Lord of all. And this reminds us that there's concurrent, these aren't successive things that happen, but they're things that happen concurrently at the same time. I've heard it well said that there should be ministry happening in your local community. We don't want to forsake reaching Whitewood because we're interested in reaching somewhere across the ocean. Whitewood is our Jerusalem. It's our local context. But we also don't want to forsake reaching the Black Hills. And we can't do it alone, but we have ministry partners who help us do that. And none of the levels are neglected, but they're all being taken care of simultaneously. And so, sometimes folks get a little riled up with each other. They say, well, shouldn't we be helping our local community while someone else's heart burns for the international or the persecuted church? You can't slander and you can't put down someone else's passions if it's a God-given passion. Remember what Paul writes in Corinthians: no one can judge the spiritual man because his commands are from God. He's being directed by God to go and to do things. So who can judge that? But we are to go where God has called us, to move in the direction that he gives us, and at every step in the way to not neglect the local missions, the area missions, the far out but still like the United States missions, and neither should we neglect the international missions. And if I could just be Southern Baptist for a moment, that's something that I really do enjoy about the Southern Baptist Convention and how they function, and that we give, the church gives a tithe out to that, and the SBC generally supports local missionaries. We support international missionaries through the association that we have in our Black Hills, in our convention of churches in the Dakotas. We have this strong network of doing just this. It's modeled after this: reaching your local people, that's the church; reaching your broader context, that's the association; reaching your Samaria, that's our convention and the SBC; reaching the nations, that's our International Mission Board. We can do all that together through the cooperative giving of the churches, and it's just it's an amazing delight to be a part of. And the SBC is a great organization to remind us that you don't have to love or agree with everything, every nuance of the group, but you can still love the mission and love the people and know that we're all Christians moving in the same direction. And so, church, I sure want to encourage you today to connect with a local church, be a part of that local body of believers, because that's the first call. And then through your gifts, see where God is calling you. What area of missions is He putting on your heart that you can go and do? And through your local church, use that as the fuel then to go out and fulfill the command that Christ has given to you. I love you, church, and we'll talk to you soon.